It's been a long, exhausting day. Your troubles just won't go away. One thing that gets you through these is watching cheesy holiday movies. You think that you're above them, but you know that you love them. So get ready to listen. Now here comes Kevin and Kristin. Oh yeah.
And we're back with yet another Remark episode. Kevin, I've missed you so much.
I miss you too, Chris. How are you?
Great. Guys, it's Kevin Regan, my co-host, and I'm Kristin Finger, my own co-host. Kevin, take it away.
All right, Chris. Well, this week we had the privilege, honor, and dare I say duty to watch Christmas, She Wrote, starring the great Danica McKellar. If you've been watching Remark, you know that Chris and I are huge fans of Danica McKellar. More on that later. But the synopsis of this film is when writer Kaylee King has her columns suddenly canceled before Christmas, she heads home to reconnect with her family. Sparks fly when she gets an unexpected visit from the man who canceled her column. Now, we watched this movie, perhaps you watched this movie, but we did not do it alone. We asked some friends to still remain friends with us after watching this movie. So give it up for Erica Gooch and Nathan Edmondson.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Thank you both so much for A, being here, and B, well, being here after we made you watch this movie. So one of the first things that we always ask is this question. So I'm going to go to you first, ladies first. Erica, have you ever watched a Hallmark movie before?
Not in its entirety, not voluntarily. No.
You sound angry at me, Erica. I'm sorry.
She's already so mad. She's...
No. I'll save it. No.
I love it.
Cool.
I love it so much. Also, who is the special guest that you have with you tonight? So folks are just wondering.
This is baby Micah. In order to get through this filming, we're just going to keep him quiet and tucked away.
Great. That's probably what we have to do with Nathan as well. Nathan, have you ever watched a Hallmark movie in its entirety before?
This was my first one this year. I've watched many in the past. Several. I'll say several.
Several.
Yeah.
So like more than 5.
Certainly. And enough to see crossovers with this film and a previous film.
Great.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yep.
I do like that you downgraded from many because you realized there's a connotation to many as if people are like, oh, Nathan Edmondson loves Hallmark movies. All he watches.
They're oddly comforting.
Yeah.
Yes. That's often what everyone has sort of said of like, I don't seek them out. But if it's on, like our very own friend Chip Chantry was like, I found this very comforting.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So Danica McKellar is super famous because obviously the Wonder Years, but also is a very big deal in the Hallmark world, if you will. How did we feel about this character, Kaylee King, that she played? How does everybody feel?
Right off the top, because I was very pessimistic. When I saw Winnie Cooper, I was like, okay, we're in it. Let's go.
We took care of you, Erica. We weren't going to, there was no DJ Tanners for you. We went Winnie Cooper right out of the gate for you.
That's right. That's right. So, Nathan, have you seen Danica in any other ones, or was this your first Danica Hallmark experience?
This was at least the second because there's a crazy crossover with Coming Home for Christmas from 2017, which also co-stars the Steven character, Andrew Francis. So, yeah, it was bizarre because he was sort of her third love interest or her second the love triangle love interest in that film. So to see him as the best friend and embracing his LGBTQ was a change.
Inclusivity.
Yeah, finally. It's really changed this season, if you will, of films. Thank God. But the guy that you're mentioning, her friend, is typically the villain in these. Like Kevin, he was in a royal one where he played the brother who was just trying to mac on the same chick the brother was trying to mac on.
Yeah, it was. I think the one that that Nathan was talking about, Coming Home for Christmas, where
Yes.
Danica is taking over, like she's kind of cleaning up that mansion, and then he's the brother who's like, they get locked into things like we've talked about Sabrina on here before, and that idea of the Sabrina characters. Kristin isn't just, she's gone.
I'm not paying attention anymore.
It's a kitty.
Yeah.
This cat was grooming his beard. I'm done. So, okay, we met. First of all, can we talk about the main dude's name? Trip Wyndham.
I know.
It was a little on the nose.
A little bit. All right, so we first meet Trip at this party, right? I mean, obviously we've seen the previews, so we understand who this man will end up being, but there was no need for the mirage that he bestowed upon us. And like, I think my least favorite part, beyond the ripping of the dress part, but was when he came in behind her and started whispering.
Twice. It was so creepy.
You mean during the meet cute, right? Initially?
Yeah.
Well, what was so bizarre about the second time, it was almost as though he disappeared so quickly, I thought maybe he was a ghost.
That would have been, I would have been fine with this movie if that was the case.
Yeah.
Well, I expected a ghost or something because I was expecting it to be very Murder, She Wrote, and I thought there'd be at least one murder.
Yeah.
Listen, I am a huge Murder, She Wrote fan. I think our fans know this. Our remarkers know this about me. There was no Jessica Fletcher. There was no talk of Cabot Cove. And there was not a damn murder. So
Not a one.
What a letdown.
That was a poor title choice. Like, you're playing off of something and that has its own tropes, and then to use that name, definitely to your point, Erica, you expect something and you don't get anything even remotely close to it. There's nothing even mysterious about any of this.
No.
That, like, the lack of stakes is mysterious.
Yes, that's true.
The only person that I felt fully invested in, and it was halfway in the movie that she entered our lives,
Mary?
Was the nosy clerk at the hotel.
Mary the innkeeper,
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
I thought she would hold the clues to the murder.
Now we're talking. She's solving something here.
When Trip first meets Mary, I thought there was a chance they might hook up.
Mary
That would've been
wanted
fun.
a piece of that. Yeah, she did.
The first time we see Trip, we say he steps on her dress. It's in the opening of the entire movie. They're at the party where the editor's about to retire, and Trip shows up, steps on her dress, rips it. That was the last moment I liked that character. And then it was all downhill, and that hill went on forever. I was writing every gentleman who was introduced and every woman that was introduced. I was like, I want Danica. Why Kaylee? I want her to be with that person, not.
Yeah, I want her friend to remain gay, but if he switched and then was with her, I'd be like, thank God.
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
briefly rooting for her niece's like high school newspaper editor. I
Rob
was like,
Hartman, me too. And then her sister came in and was like, my guy. And it was like, okay, all right, okay.
How many love connections can we have in one Hallmark film?
Many. But you can only have one kiss, though. So it's like you never know.
Ooh.
Until they kiss, you're like, nope.
Always the default. If it almost happens and it doesn't.
Yeah.
But like I'm dredging up dates and they're all terrible. And she has like several like people to choose from. And I think it's unfair.
Erica, you say she has several people to choose from, but I actually wrote in my notes, I said, was she cursed by like a voodoo priestess? Because all of the guys in her life are garbage. Like,
They're garbage.
you have Dr. Dan, although in his defense, she does say, he left me at the altar. So you're watching and you're like, oh, that bum. And she goes to go to Haiti. And you're like, okay, that's weird because there's really only one reason to go to Haiti. And then he wouldn't be a bad guy. And then she says, he opened hospitals. And it's like, it's tough to hate that. It's tough to hate that.
It is.
It's my wife's pick.
Oh, really? She
Yeah.
liked him?
She did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I found him completely boring though.
Oh, he had no personality. Yeah.
No. He also had a very weird voice. Like he's like this a little bit.
And there was a whole reversal on the story of him leaving her at the altar. She dumped him.
Yes.
And it wasn't at the altar. It seemed like it would have at least taken
Weeks before.
week.
Yeah.
a couple weeks.
Yeah.
for him to
I literally wrote, Kevin, you're going to have to bleep this, f***ing Dan, like 300 times. Because there were moments where, like, he just rolled up. I mean, obviously we knew, he's there because her niece fell. But then he rolls up at, like, the dinner, like he didn't know there was a dinner.
Unbelievably rude.
I'm like, your best friend is at this dinner. You knew this dinner was happening, you sneaky snake.
Yeah.
Also, why did just... I have so many questions. Why did just Dan and creepy guy, Trip and Dan got the sweaters? Why did they get gifts?
I know. Do you guys buy gifts? Now, I mean, 2020 is a whole different thing, but normally, do you buy gifts just in case some rando shows up at your party and you're like...
I do not have a gift closet, but many people have a gift closet.
But those were like matching, and then no one else opened one. Yeah. And I was like, and that I feel like may have been left on the editing floor. Like, I feel like there was probably a bit more of a montage to that moment.
Now you're assuming that they have a budget that they go over with. I think it's really like, we need the sight gag between these two guys.
Yeah.
Two sweaters, that's it.
Two sweaters, they're very similar. One's a cat, one's a dog. Fight.
Maybe they ran out of puns.
That party scene was amazing, though, because they said, hey, let's have every type of party that's ever been in like about like a 3-minute montage, and like they were playing charades. I mean, that party had to have been 7 hours long.
She needs to be a party planner, because all of these parties and events, it seemed like she was like, oh, let's do it tomorrow. 100 people will show up, and we got a DJ, decorations, whatever. Signature drinks.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, that's great. Can we call this segment Create a Signature Drink?
Ooh.
I'd like us all to create our own signature Christmas drink. Kevin, you're first.
Oh my gosh. A Rudolph Rum Runner.
Hey, not bad. Gooch, Nathan, do you have anything?
Okay, yeah. Kegnog.
Hey!
Kegnog with a beer component. It has to be like a stout or something, and it has to be in a mini keg.
Ooh. I like it.
Vodka and Santa's coat. It's like a vodka with red, like cherry soda.
Yeah.
I would drink that.
Can it be in a flask? It has to be in a flask.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. You don't even see that it's red. So it's dumping out in your mouth.
Okay. I'm trying to think of one that deals with like a Heineken.
Kristen, this was your bit. You don't have like a home run ready to go?
Kevin, I just improvised this bit. I didn't plan this bit. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Santa's Heineken. And every can of Heineken is in a Santa suit.
Only Santa pants.
Sorry, Nathan. I yes-handed Nathan's idea.
Now I'm imagining his little buttocks.
Yeah, it's just a little...
Can we point one thing out? Because there was one mystery in this movie, and I assume you guys picked up on it. I don't know. I thought this was going to mean something. I wrote it down, and at some point in my notes, I revisited it, even though the script never did. There's a point where Kaylee King, after being let go, fired from her column, she comes back home to Pineberry, and she's already seen her sister and stuff. She's going into a random store. Yes. They never explain why she goes in. She's not looking for anyone or anything. As she's going in, a woman almost tackles her to get in the door first, and she does this, whoa. And it was just like, that was weird. And they go in the store. And then she's shopping, and my wife and I were like, what was that? And we noticed the woman in the background, and we're like, oh, there she is. And she immediately comes in, and what Kaylee's looking at, she grabs it and goes, oh, just what I was looking for. Isn't it beautiful? And she leaves. And you never hear that woman ever again. What was that?
Yes, Kevin, I wrote this down. Entering the store moment, ? And then woman stole little house, ? And the only thing that I've pieced together is later she wants to write her articles about not the chaos of Christmas, but enjoying Christmas, and that people rush around too much at Christmas. And I think that woman was the embodiment of what her articles were not.
That makes total sense.
That works for me.
Those like character development, like I would probably be pissed. And that's why I don't have multiple physicians and executives to choose from in my dating circle.
Fair
Can I
point.
just say, so she was fired from her job, and then the task is for Trip to win her back.
Yeah.
Offer her more money.
Yes.
Just
Never.
offer her more money.
It was never on the table. Like,
No.
not once.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wage gap.
And also, Mr. Grantham,
Ransom. Yeah.
like,
If you're an avid Hallmark watcher, you had already seen him in Christmas at the Evergreen. He played Jeb Cooper, which we'll be talking about on the live show, which again, if you're watching this on Thursday, December 10th, that live show is at 8:00 tonight. Buy your ticket at csctix.com.
this guy, this poor actor, I mean, we've sort of talked about that one actor is always hired to be the Jack Black of Hallmark. There's, the main dudes sometimes look like a hotter, like, dude, like Chris Evans. They're trying very
A
hard.
hotter Chris Evans? Is that?
That's not actually possible, Kevin, which is why I'm saying they're trying to do it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You can't be hotter than Chris Evans. But this guy definitely is their Scrooge. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
This is the wheelhouse that I want to get into.
But his Scrooge, like, it's bizarre. Like, you don't understand the logic behind a lot of it. Like, Trip will lose his job if he doesn't get her back. But also, to punish him, he cuts all of his writers down to one article a week to save money. It's like, I don't get it.
What's in the paper? Like, what are they putting in this paper?
Probably news.
I was thinking missed connection. That's all they have is missed connections in that paper.
Put a Pineberry and you're guaranteed to meet someone.
Yeah. Oh,
Clearly. The pilot that owns a bar?
yeah.
Again, where are these men?
Eric, I'm
mountains?
going to find you a guy that owns a bar and is a pilot, because
Please.
they'll get you free drinks and you can travel for free. I mean, that's
Do you want to be my daddy? Do you want to be my daddy?
He owns a bar. He's just a local pilot. He flies from San Francisco to New York City.
Yeah.
just a local pilot.
Yeah.
3,000 miles.
Just one of those little wingdinger flights. He doesn't.
He's out there, starts the propeller. I have to say that the production value of these Hallmark movies is going up and up.
Mhm.
Like, it's pretty impressive. And my favorite title that I've seen so far is Christmas Comes Twice,
I'm intrigued.
which reminds me of one of my favorite jokes from a James Bond film. I apologize for this tangent. Denise Richards played Christmas Jones in The World Is Not Enough with Pierce Brosnan. At the end of the film, when they're in bed together, Pierce Brosnan says, "I thought Christmas only came once a year."
That was smooth.
That was smooth. Nice work, Pierce Brosnan. Nope, in this movie, Christmas comes twice. But we can't forget, you guys, that Danica was writing a novel this entire film.
We can forget because clearly the writers did. They didn't even bother to name it.
It's true.
But my favorite and least favorite bit always is when, and they do this not even just in Hallmark movies, they do this in other movies where someone is very talented and the ingenue is very talented, and then the guy takes her work and presents it to a major company that will make her thousands of millions of dollars and have a great career, and she's mad about it.
Yeah.
Kevin, if someone took, even the guy from Cranberry Christmas, if that tart took these clips and sent it to some producer and we made it big, I wouldn't be mad.
No, I don't think I would either.
I'd buy him a drink.
What drink? What would that be called? Let's make up more drinks.
Okay.
It was weird because he packaged it. Mr. Wyndham, Trip Wyndham, packaged that deal to get her back to write her column, which he fired her from. He's going to get her back, but also will publish this book. Grantham says, yeah, we'll publish the book. Because Stephen's column got cut, as Nathan mentioned, he was down to one a week. He would be able to bring his back. That actually came a little bit later because she basically says, I can't believe you did that to me. And it really is like just a scene or two later that he does package in Steven as well. And my wife's like, now it's just like emotional blackmail.
Well, is she independently wealthy? Is the coffee money that good?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, that bakery was doing well, I guess.
Yeah. And everything is brand spanking new in Hallmark movies. Like crisp, like just out of the packaging. So
These houses, I shouldn't talk. I mean, literally, the only part of my house that looks like this is right here because this is where we filmed the show.
her front porch alone, my wife was like, where did they store all of these trees and ornaments? And
They have another house for that. They all have two houses. They're Christmas. They actually just move into the Christmas house. It's already decorated.
Yeah. Well, that's it, because he kept saying creepily, I love this house. Your house is great. I'm like, it's not hers, it's her sister's house, you weirdo.
right.
Yeah, Anne was an interesting character, her sister, because we had a potential, Kristin, for a dead husband alert.
Thank you. Dead husband alert.
Yeah, there's never a divorce.
There are now, Nathan, this year, a lot of divorces. They've changed, they really turned a corner on that.
Yeah, you gotta watch them because you're like, whoa. But don't worry about it because Hallmark's like, but we're cool. Like they never,
Always
they're never mad at each other.
It just, we weren't right for each other, but she's in love with him. It's so great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how it works. But, though, we did have a gentleman in this film, and this is about the time we typically do our Hallmark Hunk Objectification.
Thank you, Kevin, for that brilliant segue into my favorite portion. Now, I love it when we've got a hunk to objectify because we rate him 1 out of 10 mistletoes, completely based off of what he looks like, what he walks like, what he sounds like, and maybe if you liked his character. But you don't have to factor that in if you don't want to. So I always like to start with Kevin. And I used to say, Kevin, we started this out as like, don't rate the actual human, rate the character. I don't care anymore. Yeah. It's just rate the dude. So Trip Wyndham is played by Dylan Neal. So Kevin, please go first. 1 out of 10 mistletoes.
So definitely no jingle bells ringing here. My bells were not ringing. My wife and I, this has almost become formulaic the way we do this. We looked him up because Dylan Neal looked significantly older than Danica McKellar. In the end, he's 51, she's 45. Once again, Hallmark women have the most amazing skin. So
Facts.
she looks great. So she's 45, I'm 45. And he's 51. He actually looks like he's 51. She just looks like she's in her 30s. That said, this was a guy you cast as the goofy father. All of his jokes were dad jokes. He just had a weirdness to him. He kind of looked a little bit, and this is really crappy to say, but he kind of looked like Frankenstein's monster. That's every time he walked on screen. And I was like, this is just not doing it for me. And she ultimately goes for him in the end. I even said to my wife, I think he's about to eat her because the way he's like going into the face, like the smothers her. I'm going to rate just Trip Wyndham, not the actor, and I'm only going to give him a 1.
Yeah.
That's a participation trophy. He gets a
Eviscerate
participation
him.
trophy, and that's it.
This gets real. All right, Gooch, I'll go to you. What do you give Trip? 1 out of 10 mistletoes?
I give Trip. So they said his redeeming quality was game night. I love game night. So I would say he's I know, mommy's objectifying someone. 6. I'd give him a 6, but then I went on IMDb. Mm-hmm. This man looks good with a beard. I'd give him 8 with a beard.
Whoa, 8 with a beard. That's a good rating.
Gooch, this is true. It's very confusing for me because I prefer a beard and they usually shave them in Hallmark. And I'm like, why are you doing them?
Yeah.
Nathan, I like your beard. Please tell us,
beard.
1 out of 10 mistletoes, what would you give him?
Well, Trip is an interesting character. And I appreciated that Frankenstein comment because like his walking around, there was so much of what he was doing that seemed performative or as though he knew he was being watched. Like every time he smiled, it was like, here's my dashing smile, right? And he looks like a catalog model. Like he's got that perfectly square jaw, like really small features. But he reminded me of the Men in Black 1, the bad guy who kind of walks around, like wears the person's skin. He's like a mild version of that. Like there's one scene where he's walking and he passes someone and you think he's just saying hello, but like he does a little bit of this stuff.
Yes.
And then he walks in the door and you're like, okay.
All right.
I thought he was acting. He's supposed to be stiff. And then she finds out he's fun.
Right. I'm gonna give him a 7 just through his sheer perseverance, just delivering that smile over and over and over again. I was like, okay, you've worn me down.
You guys are so nice. Kevin and I are just bitter about these men now, because I hated him. From the moment he appeared, I said to myself, that guy is weird looking.
But my baseline, you have a baseline. Which, of the 40 movies of the season, which one is this for you? Do you remember?
This is like number 27.
We have 8 left, so it's 22 technically.
Yeah. So, he snuck up, whispered her. He doesn't look good in clothes. I don't like his pants or shirts. I didn't like it. It didn't do it for me. He's just a sneaky snake that does what his boss tells him. And then he literally has no spine. He just attaches to whoever he's near. He's like, I'm going to be a businessman like my dad. I'm a business guy like this guy.
But he has daddy issues. Maybe if his daddy loved him.
Oh, this lady's nice. I'll be nice. You know what? Someone's going to come into that town and be a murderer. And he's like, I'm going to be a murderer. Kevin, I gave him a 0. I hate this guy.
Listen, I got to point this out in my notes. I literally said, I hate him. I did. I was with you.
I think his dad was the same. It was Richard Gere's father in Pretty Woman. The same, dynamic.
Both companies, yeah. Definitely to Nathan's point too, Dylan Neal was a Bold and the Beautiful actor for many years. So he is a soap actor. So that jaw, that smile, it's just, you say lights and the smile lights up. You don't even have to say camera action. It's just the second the lights hit, the pearly whites are like, ding. Ugh.
You're right, because there was one point where he was outside and he was like, no one was around him. And I was like,
yes. I do want to point out, if for nothing else, for our live guest, Ron Vrooman, there was a bow saw to cut down a Christmas tree. So for him, at least they're rectifying that as well. The hardware.
Also, to speak to that ice skating, Danica McKellar, because we're friends, Kevin and I are friends with her, she posted on her Instagram that she wasn't really skating. So the moment she jumped off that bench and ran in, that's a stunt double. Yep. And then the whole time she's she's on a board and they're just pulling her.
Yeah, it was so cool.
I was like, she's my new hero.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. They should have those at regular rinks, because I'm scared to death to skate, but I want to be in the mix.
Hey, Kev, guess what?
What, Chris?
There was another movie.
Was there?
There was. There was another movie on that other Movies and Hallmark Mystery Station, and the best sleuths in town were on it. They got to watch A Little Christmas Charm.
Welcome to Winter Wonder Whodunit. I'm Aubrie, and this is my co-sleuth, Shannon. Shannon, you're on. You're on, Shannon.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to. I'm writing my letter to Santa. I just had to address it. Santa Claus, North Pole, north of the world. I'm pretty excited about what I asked for.
Oh my gosh. Can you share it?
I think it's like a wish, right? Like if you share it, then it won't come to your house.
I shouldn't have asked. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Hopefully we'll find out.
It had it all. charms, trains, train charms, vintage clothes, earrings made by Holly, necklaces made by Holly, which brings us to the beginning of our story. It starts off with Holly, who works in a vintage store with her pregnant friend. Maybe Meg, maybe Mega. I'm not sure.
I think we should combine them and call her Mega.
Mega, yes. We're going to call her Mega from now on. Mega is pregnant. And then Holly gives her earrings and then immediately goes to get dinner with her dad at a German restaurant. So the dinner is kind of uneventful. Holly's dad is like very pushy about her opening her own jewelry store and why that's your dream. Why don't you do that? And she's like, oh, Dad. And then she takes her cake to go. And when she's leaving the restaurant, Greg knocks into her, knocks the kugel on the ground. I would be pissed. I would never talk to that guy again.
Yeah.
He offers to buy her another piece of cake, but then realizes he gave $200 to the person he was just talking to for a story where a guy left a $200 tip and then took it back. So he gave the waiter $200 and didn't write a story because that's how bad of a journalist Greg is.
He's a terrible journalist.
So he offers to pay for the cake without money. And then it gets creepier. He says, I only have my card. Do you want to go inside and I'll pay it? I'll pay for it for you and we can have it together. And she's like, no, thank you. And he's like, well, maybe another time. And she's like, are you asking me on a date? Like, he literally just knocked cake out of her hand. So she declines. And then she goes back to the vintage store where she is unboxing those boxes. And she is unpacking this beautiful coat. And she feels a little bump in there. And it's a charm bracelet.
Ooh. Was this movie just one big ad for Pandora?
So Holly finds this charm bracelet, this old charm bracelet with the two baby's first Christmas charms, and she takes it to her dad's engagement ring store. Greg looks in the window and sees Holly with this charm bracelet. And so he goes in and he tries to push himself on her again. And he's like, I'm an investigative journalist. This sounds like a mystery. Shan, again, this one had a kind of real mystery, but...
So she's trying to find out where this charm bracelet exists because she was worried that someone lost it.
Yes.
Here's the thing. How is that your first thought when you find a charm bracelet? Why isn't it this person died, or this person didn't want this anymore, or this was a piece of garbage and I should have thrown it away? Why is, oh no, they lost it? That's your first thought.
I'll tell you exactly why that's her first
Please
thought.
do.
Because she lost her charm bracelet, and that's how a plot is made.
I've lost a lot of things in my lifetime, but if I find a stuffed animal, my first thought isn't, oh, someone lost this, I should give it back to them. It's, oh, this is probably something that someone wanted to throw away. All right, so let's continue. That's a really weird pickup, though. Can we just point that out right now?
Yeah, and then he says that, like, it will involve no romantic dinners or dates or, like, hanging out besides, like, doing the journalist stuff. And then they, like, meet for coffee and he records her talking. It's so stalkery. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Okay, so Stalker Man comes in, weird pickup line.
Yeah.
They then go on this journey to find out who had this charm bracelet, even though I'm convinced this person was dead.
This is like a mystery trying to figure out the timeline of this.
I mean, honestly,
yeah.
If anyone watching this could follow this movie without, one, zoning out, and two, realizing how many terrible clues there were in this movie, I will commend you on your efforts.
So she figured out the fact that her friend Mega got stuff donated from charity. That was one mystery she solved.
Am I misremembering this detail? They said that they know that this woman must have donated to all kinds of charities, and that there was like this one charity event this evening, and she obviously had to be there.
No, they find her in the picture, and then it says John and Yelena, which back to the train station, the conductor didn't remember anyone with that charm, but he did look at it and said, "This doesn't say joy, it says J infinity Y," which was initials, love, infinity.
Oh,
Get to John and Yelena's house because they just invite strangers to their houses all the time in these movies. And this ends up being another one where Yelena was a dancer. So she was in the Russian ballet, I think, version of the Nutcracker, and that was
oh yeah.
So that was one of the mysteries. The lady, so one of the first mysteries they did solve. Now that this is how my brain, it's like Memento, these movies. I'm just like going.
Keep posting
oh.
notes all over your house
it
about
is.
like what happened in this
Oh my
movie.
God.
All right, great. Well, that was that movie. We did it.
We did it. We solved the mysteries of the billion charm mysteries that were very well hidden.
We have to do our favorite segment.
Yes.
What's the mystery?
Ooh.
So Aubrie, what do you think the mystery was?
Ooh, going back to my love of Nancy Drew, I'm gonna say this one, the true mystery was the mystery of the twin balloons. When Mega, I'm still calling her Mega.
That's because that's her name.
Has a baby reveal, gender reveal party. There are balloons in a box, and out pop a red and a green balloon. So I was just
Also, you never reveal they're twins in a gender reveal.
Yeah.
That feels like malpractice.
no, you should not keep the secret from the mother that she's carrying two babies. Like, the doctor should tell you that.
No.
The mom saw an ultrasound.
With twins. How is that not malpractice? That's the mystery. How does that not become malpractice? I don't have anything to add because there is no other mystery that needs to be talked about in this movie.
I think this is a one and done.
Yeah. I've watched a lot of these movies now, and all of them have browsers that are called insane things. And this one was no different. I'm pretty sure it was called like Lookout or something along those lines.
Yes,
So I would like for us to name better search engine names. Aubrie, what would your search engine name be?
I think my search engine name would be called Insert Words Here.
Mine would be called X Marks the Website.
Ooh, so I think I would call my search engine for all Hallmark movies, but inspired by this one, I would call it Google. Until next time, this is Winter Wonder
Whodunit.
out.
Oh, Chris, mystery solved. I loved that movie.
I can't believe you loved it as much as you did.
We'll talk about it a little bit more. That is not this
All right.
time. That is not this time. What we will talk about at this time is a little something called the Hallmark Holiday Hunk Objectification.
Yay! So we're gonna objectify the character of Greg, played by Brandon Perry. Don't confuse that with Luke Perry or Brandon, the
Walsh.
character Walsh.
Good call.
So Kevin, objectify away. I mean, he had some well-fitted shirts on in this. 1
Yeah.
out of 10 mistletoes. What do you give him?
He was a sweetheart. I actually liked him a lot from the beginning. When he first met Holly, he bumps into her and knocks her cake or Krugen out of her hand. He immediately hits on her, but I didn't feel like it was in a creepy way. I felt like it was in a very realistic way, which is very different than what Hallmark usually does. It's usually got the puppy dog guy who follows you around for, with commercials, 2 hours, without about an hour and 18. And in the end, you end up getting married. And it's like, wait, what? Whereas this dude saw her immediately and was like, hey, you want to go on a date? And she's like, you just knocked my cake out of my hand. And he's like, I'll buy you more. And it was just like, it was cute. Then they very quickly go on a journey together, which I also appreciated because he was kind of circling Stalkerville because he was showing up in places that she was, saw her in a window, showed up at her work. And it was like, so, and she immediately dropped like the pretense of, oh, I don't want to be around you. And it made the film that much better for me. It made his character that much better for me. He wasn't like the most dashing individual that I've ever seen. He was kind of a mix of like Scott Conn and like a very dear friend of Kristin and mine named Joe Sabatino, who produces all of the elf videos that you see. When you see Razzle Dazzle Do, that's Joe. And it's just that, like, he's very fun and has that very, like, kind of, like, bad boy, smiley charm to him. And I really appreciated that. So, based on all of those things and with the Joe Sabatino point added in, I'm going to give my man an 8.
Wow. The Joe Sabatino gets up 1 point?
Well, I mean, no, Joe gets, like, a 10 as a friend. Okay. But I'm saying
like,
that added element for Brandon, what's his name? Whatever.
Perry.
Yeah, Luke Perry.
So I feel as though I loved, I also agree with you in the moment of like, oh, I knocked off your cake. Oh my God, you're really pretty. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, this is how people date people. Do you want to go on a date? Loved it. Then when he started stalking her, I was like, bit much, buddy. Like, I don't care if you're an investigative reporter. Yeah. Like, when he started like Googling or whatever their version of
Reacher. It was called Reacher, I believe. Reacher,
yeah. Which is even creepier. He like reached her to reach her. So also, thank God her friend's store is called Vintage Village or Village Vintage, or he would never have found her. Anyway, he looked good in shirts. I like the way he looked in shirts. I like the way he rocked a tie most of the time. Cute. Yeah. I feel like this guy is Hallmark's Andrew Lincoln from The Walking Dead or Love Actually fame.
Oh yeah. Okay.
The one thing that I do not like about him was the delivery of his lines was like, like he was just a little too like, there you go, here's your line for you. And like when she's like, here, do you want to take a selfie? Yeah, here, I've got it. Oh, that's a good one, man. Like, it's just too much. He also never stopped smiling.
I love that. He's a happy dude. I need that 2020.
His mouth is like this, so he smiles too.
I like that too. It's like a cartoon.
I gave him a 6.
That's not bad though, from you.
But here's something interesting. Shannon DeVido, I know we're not supposed to talk to each other about these movies, but she texted me a picture of him without a shirt on, and I was like, that's not fair. He had a shirt on the whole movie. We don't know that's untrue.
You can do research. Listen, Finger, if you're not going to do the research, then stop doing the show.
I think I may have given him a 5, like the take him or leave him, but I gave him the 6 because now I know what's under there.
Well, I see that Shannon solved another mystery.
What is under there?
So it's been quite a while since Chris and I have ranked from top to bottom all of our movies. And I know this segment can get a little long and tedious, and I do apologize, but I feel that the Remarkers need to know where we're putting things.
Where do we stand, you know?
Even with the Thanksgiving week movies, we ranked them, but we didn't show where they fell in our main list. So that said, this is going to be our list so far, I believe we call it, for Kevin and Kristin's Hallmark movies.
Woo! Cue that scroll, because now that there's so many titles.
I know. Obviously, Chris's movies are in red, mine are in green. We've kept that consistent, but that's how we have to do it. Let's start at the bottom.
Okay.
Cranberry Christmas is still my last one.
Meet Me at Christmas is still garbage because of that creeper.
I have Meet Me at Christmas as my number 31. We've done 32 movies so far. I think I said 22 earlier. My number 30 is Heart of the Holidays. I just didn't like it.
Same. I thought that was a waste of our time.
It was a waste of our time. We should have taken that week off. Although that was rolled into 5 others. So
it was just in there, and I was mad.
29, Chateau Christmas.
Yeah, that's same. And right above that, I think we have the same as The Godwink.
Yeah, so our bottom 5, even though there's a slight different order on the last 2, it's the exact same. Those are the garbage movies. I'm going to say there's no need to talk about them ever again for the rest of Remark. We might show it on the list, but I don't, unless something cracks the bottom 5, I will save all the time next
I
time.
don't think it's going to. Looking at the ones coming up,
I agree.
I'm excited. So I think we've got the garbage out of the way. Yeah.
So then we start to move into what I like to call, I say middling a lot. And it's the movies that like, just, they don't quite do it for me. And mine, I know you rank yours much, much higher. My number 27 is Holly and Ivy.
That's fine. It's to each his own. Mine is If I Only Had Christmas. Candace Cameron Bure, who is like a Hallmark goddess, but look out, Lacey Chabert is on your tail.
Oh, no kidding, man. In fact, in the newest one, the Blake Shelton one, when Lacey starts singing, there's no music playing. It's not like a big number, but they ask her what that Christmas song is, and she starts singing, and she had a really pretty voice. And I was like, oh, man, she's like a triple threat.
Brett, man, big axe, makes cookies.
So I have If I Only Had Christmas at 26. So I'm right there with you, not quite the 27, but...
By 26 is Christmas in Vienna, because that guy still creeps me out.
Yeah. He creeps me out too, but I'm still hoping that someday we'll get McLean Nelson as a guest. So I'm not ranking that down there. Thanks for ruining that, Chris. But I will put A Christmas Tree Grows in Colorado as my 25.
Team. And then above that is USS Christmas.
Yeah, that's where you're putting your USS Christmas, huh?
Yeah.
My number 24 is the movie we're talking about tonight, Christmas, She Wrote.
It's interesting. I have that a little higher. I have it at 21. I liked Christmas, She Wrote better than Nashville Christmas Carol and The Angel Tree because I like Danica so much.
I mean, I liked her and I liked the cast, except I just could not buy her with Dylan Neal. I just couldn't. It was like, it was too much for me and it dropped it way down there. That said, any other actor, and that movie is very possibly going to be way up. It just...
Well, that's it. It was slightly different that the guy had to come to her. Like,
I love that.
It would have been a success, but they just hired the wrong guy.
Yeah, agreed.
Just put Tyler Hines and everything and call it a day.
If Lacey Chabert's doing multiple films, Tyler Hines, get to work. That's all I'm saying. My number 23, I have Jingle Bell Bride.
Ooh, I have The Angel Tree.
Christmas in Vienna is 22. Never Kiss a Man in a Christmas Sweater is 21. And A Timeless Christmas is 20.
I think I moved some things and I don't remember what they were, but Christmas Bow is my number 20.
Yeah, I like that movie a lot more.
I did too. But
But you like 19 other movies more.
I like 19 other movies more. That's why it's so hard. This middle area is sort of just like, they were fine.
I do have USS Christmas at 19.
I think you just like a mystery.
I do.
I do too. I might switch this now. I think I like Christmas Bow better than Christmas Lane.
Go ahead and switch it. You just don't like Alicia Witt.
I don't like Alicia Witt because I feel like she looks like she could be a bee, and I've heard that she is. So
I've heard things about so many different people, and until they're that way to me, I just don't buy it. I think she's probably a sweetheart of a human being.
I'll take
That
it.
said, I did have a switcheroo update, which is I moved, because I've thought of this movie so many times, and I was like, I think I like this movie more than I gave it credit for, and that's One Royal Holiday.
Yay!
I moved that to my number 18 spot.
That's great. That one's just silly fun. There's so many fun moments in that. Yeah, I might watch that one again because it's been a while. That was like week 1, right? Or 2.
Yeah, I think 2. I think it's definitely one of the more rewatchable of the movies. Yeah.
My 18th spot is A Timeless Christmas, which I have rewatched again, and it's just stupid. Like it didn't get worse. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Oh boy.
So 17, I know we haven't reviewed it as of you're watching this, if you watch it when it first comes out. This is our live show, but Christmas in Evergreen, Bells Are Ringing, which you can hear more about why I rank it where I rank it, but I put it 17 in my list.
Yeah, I've got my Holly and Ivy there just because I still have a crush on that guy. And then I have Christmas in Evergreen. I mean, I'm a sucker. I mean, hello, red truck. I'm a sucker for Christmas in Evergreen. We'll get into that on Thursday for sure because I have thoughts.
My number 16 is Good Morning Christmas. Good Morning Christmas!
Thank you so much. My number 16 was that Christmas in Evergreen. Yeah. Then Jingle Bell Bride. Then Good Morning Christmas is 14 because I liked it.
Oh yeah, it's fun. It's fun. These are all the movies at this point, 15 and on, are
Yeah,
the ones I
move
love.
them around. They're
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, my 15 is a Nashville Christmas. I got to make a plea too for that episode. It's our least watched episode, and I don't know why, because it's one of the. I remember when it ended, I said to Kristin, that was a joy just talking about that with the people. So, highly recommend going out and watching that, not just for us. Although I want the counts, I'm not going to.
I want the counts.
But
I also want you to watch that episode because Jason and Emily were a joy.
Absolutely. And I wore a cowboy hat. I did my kicks, man. So got my Kicks Brooks on.
Then I see where you put my number 13, and we need to discuss.
You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
I put A Little Christmas Charm at 13.
Yeah, we'll talk about where I put it when we get a little closer, or else we go topsy-turvy here. So 14 for me is Christmas Tree Lane. My 13 is The Christmas Bow. My 12 is The Angel Tree.
Oh, my 12 is One Royal Holiday.
Love that song. Now we're rocking with Christmas with the Darlings in the 11 spot.
I've got Never Kiss a Man in a Christmas Sweater because I love the woman that was in that movie. She just brings joy to my soul.
So now we're in our top 10. So
Top 10.
this is where it gets real. I got number 10, The Christmas Ring.
Number 10, Christmas with the Darlings.
Number 9, 5 Star Christmas.
Number 9, The Christmas Tree.
All right. How about number 8, The Christmas House?
Whoa, you bumped that.
It went down.
I've got number 8, 5 Star Christmas.
Number 7, The Christmas Waltz.
Number 7, The Christmas Doctor.
It's funny that all of our movies are all up in here. Number 6, Christmas by Starlight.
Number 6, The Christmas Waltz. This is fun.
It is fun. Number 5, The Christmas Doctor.
Number 5, Time for Us to Come Home for Christmas.
That's my number 4.
I love it.
It's great.
God, I love Lacey. Number 4 for me is The Christmas House.
Ooh, this is it. Top 3. Are we ready? Number 3, 12 Dates of Christmas.
Wow. Number 3, Christmas by Starlight. God, I love him so much.
If you're following along, you know that in my top 2, I have to have Kristin's number 13. Is it my number 2 or is it my number 1? My number 2 is Deliver by Christmas.
I can't even talk to you right now, Kevin. Are you serious? My number 2 is Deliver by Christmas. My number 1 will always be Tyler Hines, starring in 12 Dates of Christmas. Kevin.
A Little Christmas Charm. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
I don't know if we can continue doing this show.
Oh my God. Do I have to edit this one?
I don't understand. Are you going to tell me why?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to break the movie down. I mean, Shannon and Aubrie already solved the mystery, but I just thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved their chemistry. They didn't go too deeply into either of their backstories. I love that we didn't have a dead mom alert. We had a divorced mom alert, but
Sure.
they did things, and I felt they were like interesting takes on not doing the same things that Hallmark always does. It was funny because when I told you I really liked it, you're like, nah. Like I felt like you didn't even want to watch it. You go, nah, I don't care about charm bracelets, and the charm bracelet's not the point.
The previews look so bad.
I loved it. When they dress in the 30s garb and they're dancing.
That was very fun, and it was a really fun play on like why she worked at a vintage store. But I just didn't think they had that great of chemistry because I thought both of them were very just like, I'm in a movie. Look at me. I'm in a movie.
Hold on. Take your phone out. You have your phone right by you?
Yeah.
You don't have to show the audience, but take a look at that picture that Shannon sent you. And you tell me, are you still putting it at 13?
What's the guy's name again?
Brandon Perry. Luke Perry.
Brandon. No, it's Penny. We've been saying it wrong. It's Penny.
Never see a penny, pick it up.
Oh, wait a minute. She didn't send me a picture of this guy. She sent me a picture of Stephen Huzzer.
Oh, that's
The other
we're gonna
one.
objectify him on our live show. So
Is that one?
he's not messing around.
So forget it. Greg gets 5. He's back at 5 because that's not what he looks like under there.
We just jumped backwards in segments. Wait, is this a timeless Remark episode?
Remark.
I really enjoyed it, and I admit I just watched it last night, and a lot of the new stuff. I am a shiny penny type guy. I am the guy who, when I saw like Deadpool, I was like, clearly this is the best Marvel film. That will always be me. I need like some time to let it percolate, and then things settle a little bit.
I love that because I watched it like 3 hours ago, and
It's not gonna drop down to 13 for me. Like, I really enjoyed it, and it's funny because Time for Us to Come Home, or Time for Us to Come Home this Christmas, easily could be higher up for me because again, I really love the ensemble. I love that story as well. That was like essentially, and again, we're going to talk about this in the live show, but it was basically Clue without a murder.
I loved it. That almost beat The Christmas House for me. Those are even right now, like even Steven for me. Oh my God. What is everyone else's top 10? What is your top 3? What's your top? What's your bottom?
What's your bottom? Yeah.
What's at 17 for you?
Yeah, give us your 17. You can email us at remarktheshow@gmail.com. You can tell us all sorts of things. Tell us your number 20, not 20, 32. Your bottom. Tell us your top. Tell us your 17. Tell us 3 things that you don't think Taye Diggs can do.
Please. We need more of those.
This is almost like a redemption from last week's live show. I had a slide and I never brought it up. I forgot to pimp out that you and I wanted those hats one more time. I was going to do it on the live show and it just slipped my mind.
Like, look what I would wear it like on the side. Kevin could wear it straight up.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. I should wear this hat going forward until you guys replace it with a. I'm gonna talk about movies like this. See?
Hey, that's a movie. Yeah,
Let me tell you, a little Christmas charm, eh?
You're acting like Brendan Penny. Hey, I'm in a movie. Hey,
I'm acting like Brendan Perry.
I'm in this movie.
So, this is it, man. We're almost done. We halfway through. So, Chris, I've tried James's phone number like 600 or 700 more times this week, and still it is disconnected. But I challenged him to come on the show. Last week we mentioned, James, if you're man enough, come on the show. And I found an email address that said not Danica McKellar, so I assume that's James. And I sent him an invite to come on this Zoom and talk to us. So
Let's see what he's got. Let's bring it on, James.
Wait. Someone's in the waiting room. It says not Danica McKellar. I'm going to let him in. Here's James. Here he is.
Happy holidays to Kevin and Kristin. You guys have a wonderful holiday season. I know it's been a strange year, and it's probably going to be a bit of a strange holiday season too, but I think it's important for us to just keep our eye on the prize. We're going to get through this. You know, it's about being kind to each other and doing the best job that we possibly can do to help others around us and to lead fulfilling lives full of purpose. But I will say to Kevin and Chris, stop bothering James. He's really busy taking lots of phone messages. You shouldn't be bothering him right now.
Chris, it's a Christmas miracle.
I don't know what.
Thank you, James, for passing on the word to Danica.
James, I will have all your babies. Danica, we can care for them together.
I will babysit them when you guys want to go out to dinner or what have you.
Oh my God.
Seriously, this is amazing. Thank you to James. Thank you to Danica McKellar. I mean, 2020 is really shaping up to be an amazing year.
Things are turning around, Kevin.
So, having watched this movie, here's my question: would you watch another Hallmark movie?
would I, or how many am I going to be watching?
Nice. You're
I do have to say the ends of these Hallmark films, when the kiss finally happens, cut to credits.
Yeah.
It's the craziest way to end a film.
Yeah.
So, and the credits like, beep, and they're onto the, on a Christmas Comes Twice.
There is the alternative ending that they'll sometimes do, which is not the immediate cut to credits, but instead everyone they know and love standing around watching them kiss, sometimes applauding. And it's like in church after a marriage, that's it. That's the only time you should watch your friend kiss. Erica, will you be watching another Hallmark movie tonight?
Yes, it melted my cold, dead heart. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And because my mom was like, you don't even like these movies or watch these movies. And I was like, yeah, but I mean, like, I'll just nail it, just like on the show. But then I was like, well, will she find love?
Yep.
Let's find out. This is lovely. Oh, sorry, buddy.
These are needed in 2020. That's what happens. Guys, I want to thank you. Nathan Edmondson, where can we find you, sir?
Yes, so we have a podcast that we've been doing live streams of every 2 weeks. So you can find information about that either on Facebook or Instagram. Just look up Unimaginary Friend. I think Instagram, it's unimaginary_friend. Our most recent episode, which was last week, we interviewed the real Santa Claus. So
very nice.
You can ask me anything with Santa. So you should check that episode out. You can do the streaming, the podcast, or watch our live stream.
Awesome. Great. And Erica, what can we plug for you?
I play for Comedy Sports Philly when I'm allowed by my captors. And if you live in Georgia, go vote.
Yes.
And that's all.
Yes.
Vote correctly. Awesome. Thank you all so much.
Thank you
for watching. See you in the next one.
Bye.
Yay.
James, Kevin, Kristin, everyone watching this, happy holidays and have a wonderful rest of this year.